we're suspecting will be these little holographic images popping up for people to worship, as in the days of Nebuchadnezzar in Babylon and the golden statue.
Well, I meant to mention for you, the popular culture part of it is the Pokemon Go, augmented reality. Now, that is a part of the sentient world simulation placed in an app for people to become accustomed to using, to the point, to the extent that they will demand the augmented digital reality, the virtual reality, if you will, but I like to call it the augmented reality, demand the digital rather than the analog, that they want to be full-time, fully immersed in this new sentient world simulation that Pokemon Go is just the cracking of the doorway for people, so that they will become to the point of saying, I like the augmented reality better than the analog, and thereby deceiving people and capturing them within this world that has been created by the 4096 and run by the 4096.
That's why the CIA created that app.
Yep. As another kind of a Jade Helm experiment to see what the masses, how they would react to such things, so they could tweak it and game the population to see if they can smooth out the kinks.
And that's the key word. I've been repeating this on a couple of other shows. There is a game afoot. You hit it right on the head, my friend. We are being gamed. We are being played. Now, fortunately, we have the Holy Spirit to give us that ability to put on the new glasses of the Holy Spirit and see things clearly and see the game, see the chessboard. The SWS is the chessboard, and we can see it, and we can choose to either be a pawn, or we can stand off to the side and kind of snicker, as we're doing today, and say, nope, that's a game, and I'm not going to play that game.
Yeah, and the other Pokemon equivalent in the movie industry that fits this perfectly was the last Terminator movie with the Genesis system going online and watching the AI grow up in front of you, going from a child to a teenager to a full grown-up and taking over. And that was the whole thing. And that's what, George, sounds like we're talking about with 4096 running things, is just a...
Absolutely.
So if Ganesh represents the head of Pluto and it was put back on to represent the pieces of Saturn, which is the other planet, and Pluto's dead because it's in hell. He's the god of the dead, and he's the judger of the dead, which is Osiris. And his head is in CERN also because in my opinion, it's the casket of Osiris and his head is there. And if the Ganesh can't rule as the sun in hell and he has to be resurrected, think of it this way. Satan is copying God. Jesus is the son of God. Ganesh is the son of Saturn. So Saturn wants his son to be resurrected as himself, to connect with him so he can be connected to the body, because the body is the flesh. And the flesh is his son, because the flesh is not of God.
Right.
And that's why
it's the fallen state, and it's the dominion of Lucifer is that he can have control over the flesh. He can't have control over your spirit unless you give him permission to take the mark.
Right.
Right. And that's transhumanism, is just keep propping up the flesh for as long as they can with downloads and augmentations. The whole thing with capturing the spirit or the soul that we looked at before, them trying to figure out how do you capture the soul so you can transplant it into these things.
I believe that the crescent